Hello guys, I hope you're fine. So I hope you're watching this video because you're interested on the class. So today guys, we're going to have the class this way. I'm going to present you the new topic, lesson number 6. For this week, we're going to work with the present perfect, sorry, present present perfect continuous. So as the name says, this is like a combination between the present perfect and the present continuous. So we're going to see the differences between the present perfect continuous with the present perfect as the uses and the structures. So first of all, present perfect continuous. So this is the structure for the present perfect continuous. First, we have the affirmative structure, which we need the subject. The auxiliary verb is going to be have and has. Remember that has is going to be used for a third person singular, he, she, and it. And have is going to be used with plurals and also with first person singular, like I have, you have, we have, and they have. After that, you're going to need the verb to be in past participle. As you know, the verb to be has a participle form that is been. So you're going to use in all the sentences, positive, negative, and question, the auxiliary verb to be in past participle, like this one being. And finally, you need the verb in ing. Then it says, they have been learning English for 2 years. So we have the subject they, we have the auxiliary have because we have as the subject they, then we have the auxiliary verb to be been in past participle, and finally the main verb is in ing form. This is the complement. Now when we want to make negative sentences, first we need the subject, then we need the auxiliary verb, and after the auxiliary verb have and has, we will include also the negation not. After not, we will use again the past participle of the verb to be, been, and finally we're going to use the verb in ing, like we did in the affirmative sentence. So the only difference between positive and negative is going to be not. They have not been learning English for 2 years. And finally, when we have questions, first we need to move the auxiliary verb have or has, then we need the subject. After the subject, we need the auxiliary verb to be in past participle, and finally the verb in ing form. It says, have they been learning English for 2 years? Have, the auxiliary verb have, has. They, the subject. Been, the past participle of the verb to be. This is the second auxiliary verb. And finally, we have the verb in ing with the complement. Now, when do we use the present perfect continuous? Here we have the uses and some examples. The first use says, express long actions that started in the past and continue until now. So something that we start in the past and we continue in the present. It says, I've been living in Ireland for almost 4 years. So that means that 4 years before, this person started this action and he continued doing the action, which is living in Ireland in the present. Now here we have another use with another example. It says, express recent actions that have clear evidence or result. The example says, her eyes are red because she's been crying all evening. So that means that this action started recent, but it has a result in the present. Yeah, she's been crying all evening. So what is the effect that this action has? Her eyes are red because of the same action. Now, um, give me a second. Now, it's important also, guys, to remember the ing rules. Yes, when we make a verb into present participle, that means ing, gerund form, we need to add these three letters at the end, but we have some special rules. For example, if the verb finishes with the letter Y, we're going to add only ing. We're not going to eliminate Y. It's going to stay the same way. For example, play, playing, fly, flying, study, studying, and so on. Now, if the verb ends with the letter E, we need to drop off the letter E and just include ing at the end. For example, dance ends with the letter E, so we need to eliminate the letter E and add ing, dancing. Fake ends with the letter E, so we need to eliminate the letter E and add ing, faking. Rhyme, rhyming, and so on. What happens if the verb ends with double E? Nothing happens. We're going to keep the double E in the verb. For example, see, it's going to be seeing. Flee is going to be fleeing. Agree is going to be agreeing. Then, what happens when the verb ends with I and E? So we need to eliminate I and E, and we're going to include our letter Y at the end. For example, die is going to be dying. Lie is going to be lying, and tie is going to be tying. And when the verb ends with consonant, vowel, consonant, we need to double the last consonant and then add ing. Run, consonant, vowel, consonant, running with double N. Put, P-U-T, consonant, vowel, consonant, we need to double the last consonant. Putting with double T. Stop, consonant, vowel, consonant, stopping, so on. And finally, guys, don't forget the differences between present perfect and present perfect continuous. The main difference is between the structure. Remember that when we use present perfect, we only have the subject, the auxiliary verb have and has, and the verb in past participle. But with present perfect continuous, we're going to use two auxiliary verbs. Well, also the subject at the beginning, then the auxiliary verb have or has, and then the second auxiliary verb, the verb to be in past participle, and finally the main verb is going to be in ing form. So now the difference is in uses: finished actions, unfinished actions. The kids have played for 2 hours. This is done. The kids have been playing since morning. This continue. As the name says, continues. Permanent actions: I have taught English for 12 years. Temporary actions: I have been teaching this class for an hour or 1 hour. Emphasize on the result of the action. He has repaired the car. We're focused on the result. Emphasize the duration of the action. He has been repairing the car for 2 hours. This is the most important in this sentence, and this is the most important in the sentence of the present perfect. And finally, indicate how much, how many have been completed. It has taken 6 years to write this book. How much? 6 years. Indicate how much, how many have been completed. He has been studying English for 2 months. Yes. So these are the differences between present perfect and present perfect continuous. So I hope you liked the video and you can learn of this. And if you have questions, just let me know. You can send me a message. Si tienen dudas, me mandan un mensaje. Ya saben que les puedo contestar por vía chat. Y no olviden hacer sus actividades de esta semana, por favor. Thank you.